So good to see you and welcome to the 2019 opening day of North Orange Continuing Education. As always, it's just so wonderful to see everyone get together. It's always like a big family reunion. It's wonderful that we have this opportunity to celebrate the cycle of the new year, the beginning and then the end with our commencement ceremonies. It was wonderful to hear laughter all around, to hear bits and pieces of summer memories, and I hope you enjoyed the rolling PowerPoint as we were having our morning coffee, because the PowerPoint shows the pictures of you that you submitted to us of you and your families having fun during the summer break, and more of it to come later in the event. I just, before we begin, I wanted to give extra big thank you for a big crew that made this event possible, especially our Pro-D committee members, also the campus communications team, the provost office, which is Julie Shep, and our administrative professionals, whom you saw all around wearing yellow shirts, welcoming everybody. So thank you very much. I also want to especially thank our adjunct faculty for joining us today, and also our NOCE managers who closed their departments and offices so that our classified professionals can join us in this celebration as well. Now it is my pleasure to introduce several distinguished guests who joined us here today, starting with the board president, Jeff Brown, board member Molly McClennan, board member Dr. Barbara Dungy, Fullerton College president Dr. Greg Schultz. It's always great to have you here with us. Welcome back. District Director of Public and Governmental Affairs, Kai Stearns Moore. Vice Chancellor of Education Technology, Dr. Jerry Lebog. Vice Chancellor of Finance and Facilities, Greg Williams. Let's see. Dr. Gabriel Stanko, District Director of Research and Planning. Dr. Joyce Garrigan, District Director of Workforce Development. Dr. Gail Ariola-Nico, Special Projects Director, coordinating actually our Masters and Facilities Plan. Vice Chancellor of Human Resources, Irma Ramos. And Human Resources Manager, Simone Brown-Thunder. For joining us. And then the following individuals don't need special introductions. We call them part of our family, alumni of our of NOCE, and they're the part of the district services team now. So Chelsea Salisbury, Public and Governmental Affairs, Chancellor's Office. David Soder, Coordinator of Education Services and Technology. And District Foundations Director, Brent Hunter. And of course, our fearless leader, Dr. Cheryl Marshall, Chancellor of North Orange County. If I'm forgetting anyone, please wave your hands. I really want to acknowledge the love that so many guests were able to join us today. And now it is my pleasure to invite to the podium Jeff Brown, President of the Board of Trustees, who will greet us on behalf of the board.
I've been on the board long enough that I've done a few of these things. And I was remembering back to a previous one I did. It may have been the last one I was here, I'm not sure. But it was back when Gary McGuire was provost and NOCE was still SCE. And at that point, I compared SCE to lab for a puppy. Does anybody here at that point? Yes. Lab puppy, they love everybody. They're so excited, they're ready to take on anything. Throw the ball, throw the ball. Yeah, two balls, shell, get double. It's just there's no end to the excitement and the energy, at least until it just totally collapses in exhaustion. But when I look at NOCE today, I still see that lab puppy, but I think the puppy is growing up. The puppy is a little more self-aware. Under Valentina's leadership, I think there's recognition that there are limitations to what can be done. There's emphasis not only on what do we do, but what is the best way to do it and how well are we doing it. There's still the excitement and the enthusiasm and the energy, but the puppy is a little older and a little wiser, but not in a bad way. It's wisdom that comes from experience, from self-reflection, and from a clarity of purpose. So I guess if the metaphor still works for you, claim your puppyhood. But remember that even the mature lad can still have fun. Continue to be the enthusiastic and never say die NOCE. That really makes you my favorite part of the district. And by all means, always have a great academic year doing what you do so well. Thank you.
We're still searching for a mascot under our new there's a possibility there, I can see that. And we certainly can use more words of wisdom. With that said, I would like to invite Dr. Marshall to greet us and share updates with us.
Good morning, NOCE. Good morning. It's awesome to see you. It's great to be here. Thank you for including me. Thank you on your agenda this morning, and I just have a few thoughts to share. This last year, both personally and professionally, a lot happened in my life, and when major things happen in your life or you're going through some struggles, hopefully we pause and reflect and think about what's going on and the meaning of life and those kinds of things. So I wanted to share some of those thoughts with you, and I'm going to use some famous movie quotes to share some of those points and some of those thoughts with you today. So let's start with Field of Dreams. Hopefully everybody's seen this. I think that we are really trying to create a field of dreams for our students. We're trying to design that wonderful and exceptional educational environment that helps students along their path. And we want to build a welcoming and inclusive environment where every single student has an opportunity to succeed. And I know that your hearts are in that. And that's part of why we do love you so much, because we know how much you care about your students and give them that personal attention, and we're trying to design systems and processes that help students move forward, and I thank you for that. But we're in a time of great change in higher education and in the California community colleges. So if you have those moments or those days where you wake up and you feel like, I'm not in Kansas anymore, guess what? We're not. It's very different. It's a very different environment, whether it's AB 705 or guided pathways or promise programs, all of the kinds of work, a new funding formula, all of those kinds of things really have impacted us. And there's still a lot of scrutiny. We're still being examined, and you know, what is the work that you're doing and does it matter? Legislators ask that a lot and put a lot of pressure on the community colleges, and I think on non-credit and adult education programs as well. So all of those kinds of things are happening, and it is different. It's very different reality that we are dealing with. And when we're going through massive change, when we're going through times of massive change, you know, it brings out our fears. It's just normal. It's a normal human reaction. And sometimes we see those dangers and we want somebody else to go first.
Absolutely.
Let somebody else try it. You go first, you know, because it's a little bit scary. And sometimes those fears are in our own heads. You know, we have to face our own challenges and try to grow and learn through those. And you know, this is one of the things that I really thought a lot about is when I address what I'm scared of and grow through that, it makes us better people, and it ends up making a better environment for our students and for employees as well. So we have to just acknowledge that that is part of the reality that we are facing with because of the kinds of changes that we are going through. And when you're going through lots of change, which we have in the past year, and this past year we've really tried to move from concepts to implementation. You know, we're really trying to make things work. What is guided pathways? What does that look like? How do we make that work? How do we understand a different kind of funding and make that work? So all of those are big. We've got lots of different things going on top of each other. And so it has created some problems along the way. And from my perspective, one of the biggest gaps last year that we had was a communication gap. You know, in the moment, I didn't realize that sometimes how bad it was or where we were not communicating as well as we needed to, and that's both directions. So I think that we really want to try to improve upon that this year. And so we are going to provide a lot more opportunities for input and for sharing of information on a variety of different topics. You've heard about the educational master plan and facilities plan. That's an opportunity for you to really think about where do we want to go as a district. And we're going to have open forums and opportunities for you to provide input. We also are going to have some free speech forums. So we're revising the policy on free speech. So that's another area that you will have opportunity to have dialogue and give input. We're also going to be sharing a lot more information about benefits and how we can try to improve our benefit packages for employees. So those are just 3 examples of things where we're really going to try to increase communication. I've also shared a schedule with DCC of big topics that we'll be talking about along the way, and we'll share that with you. And we're trying to line that up with when the board discussions will take place. So we'll be sharing all of that with you so that you'll know what's being talked about, when it's being talked about. Remember that all of these committee meetings are open meetings. You're welcome to attend any of them that you wish, and we hope that you will attend some of the open forums and other opportunities. So I hope that will help. You know, I wish I could stand here and tell you that we're through the bumpy parts and that we're going to be okay, and we are going to be okay, but there's still some turbulence. You know, when we're trying to create a brand new system for students and really improve our processes and take our best practices and scale them so that they touch every single student, that's a lot of hard work, and we're in the middle of that hard work. So there's still going to be some bumps along the way. Hope the shark doesn't freak anybody out. You know, when you think about trying to design that great system, that field of dreams for our students, it's creating a different kind of organization. So again, as we try to make things easier for our students to make progress and move along their path, as we try to touch every student in a better and different way, you need a different kind of boat. When we see these dangers out there, when we see these things that are happening around us and can be threatening, we've got to think about what kind of organization can we become that really helps us to serve our students better. And just because, you know, we're becoming a new and different kind of organization, in no way do I want you to feel like that diminishes or disrespects the things we've done in the past. I know everybody in this room, we've always wanted to do what was best for our students. And sometimes you try things and they don't work, or things change, and so you have to adjust that. So I really want us to honor and pay homage to our past and how we've done things before. Nothing wrong with the way we did things before. And we need to remember that and respect that and celebrate the successes that we've had in the past for our students. But what we're doing now, it really is creating something wonderful for students. So the way that we're trying to address basic needs, the way that we are trying to make streamlined process, I want to thank you for looking at your terms and the times of your terms and aligning that more with the colleges so that we can get students transitioning, those who want to, into credit programs. We want to make those pathways more seamless and get them into credit programs if that's what they wish to do. So, you know, the work that you do to create lots of different entry points for students to help them become everything that they are capable of being, that is wonderful work. It is really wonderful work. I want you to know how much I appreciate, how much we all appreciate the work that you do day in and day out, because we are creating something new and wonderful. So I wish you a very happy academic year. I think there's a lot of great things happening. We still have a lot of work to do. But thank you for everything you've done over the past year or so. I really do appreciate it. And we will continue to support you and advocate for the work that you do. You know, the way that you provide multiple entry points and help students make progress towards whatever their goals are, that's important work. And it doesn't matter what the state says. We value that. We will support you. As long as I'm chancellor, we're going to do this kind of work. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marshall. In addition to teaching her students in Career Technical Education Program, Tina McCorkin is NOCE's Academic Senate President, SLO Coordinator, and starting this year, Accreditation Co-Chair. So she wears many hats. And today, Tina will welcome us on behalf of the Academic Senate.
Good morning. Good morning. I hope all of you have had a chance to relax a little bit and refresh. When I grow up, I want to be just like Dr. Marshall and be able to give my speech with no notes. For today, I'm going to read. Our theme for today is planting seeds for the future. And so as we are planting seeds for the future, it is also important for us to continue to nurture our existing garden. I saw a quote that said, "When a flower doesn't bloom, you fix the environment in which it grows, not the flower." So last year, we asked our administration to tackle our environment, and they heard us and have begun the process. However, this can't be a one-sided effort. This year, I am asking our faculty and staff to put in some work as well. Over the summer, I gave our institution a lot of thought, and I came up with 4 things that I would like you to remember and implement throughout this coming year. The first thing is, change is necessary. Change is necessary when people face a discrepancy between what is expected and what is actually happening. In order to properly adjust to change, we must form new expectations to fit the current conditions, and it takes time and energy for those changes to occur. Second, get inspired. I encourage you to look up, look around, and get inspired by those around you. We have colleagues that are doing some pretty amazing things around here, both in and out of the classroom. Do the work that pushes you to your edges. Waste 0 time on the past and celebrate how far we've come versus the distance we still have to go. Third, Walk in integrity. Let your yes mean yes, and your no mean no. Walk your talk. Avoid using your words to speak against or gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth. And last but not least, remember, everything that we do is for our students. Let's provide our students with the best possible service. But in order to provide excellent service, we must be responsible in the service that we provide to one another. Our leadership is responsible to take care of its employees. Faculty and staff are responsible to take care of each other and our students. The better we care for one another, the better we can care for those that are entrusted to us. So remember, change is necessary. Get inspired, walk in integrity, and be responsible to one another. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you're planting. Have a great year.
Thank you for your insightful words, Tina. Much appreciated. And now I hope you had an opportunity to complete Pro-D needs survey on your way in. If not, please do so as you mingle during the break and as you leave. Your ideas and thoughts are critical as our Pro-D team plans mindful professional development opportunities for you. Speaking of which, I would like to invite Candice Lynch, our Pro-D chair, who will talk about what's in the store as far as Pro-D opportunities.
I'm a writer, not a speaker, so I have some notes too that I'd like to share with you. First, though, I don't know about you, but I felt a little exhausted this morning when I got up. We've had a lot going on, a lot of heat, events, meetings. So as I was discussing this with my cat, I do not have a puppy, I have a cat, and she waits every morning for me to get up and get myself going so that she can go outside and live the life that she wants to live, which is chasing things and harassing squirrels. So as I was discussing this with her, I had a realization. You know who never says they're tired or exhausted? Valentina. Never says she's tired or exhausted. I never hear it. Our deans, Karen and Martha, I never hear them say they're tired or exhausted. And they work 12 months a year. Did you feel the collective shudder of that? When I said that? It makes me shudder. It makes me nauseous to think about working 12 months a year. More nauseous even than early mornings, and they make me nauseous as well. So I would like to really thank not just Valentina and Martha and Karen for being here all 12 months and making sure this place is put together for us when we faculty come back, but also all of you who do that work 12 months a year, and you're here and you're making sure this institution is running for us and ready for us and our students when we descend on it again, which is what we're going to do on Monday. So anyway, thank you to all of that work that goes on. On behalf of our professional development team, on behalf of our NOCE Professional Development Committee, I would like to say good morning and welcome to the 2019-20 academic year. I want to start off by telling you that I am not the same person I was last year when I stood up in this same position. It's no plastic surgery, no robotic interventions or anything like that. All my parts are essentially the same, a little older, maybe a little more tired. But I'm different now. I'm a different person. And the reason is because I know how to do things now that I didn't know how to do last year. I didn't know how to use forms in Office 365 until Julie Shep said, you can do it in forms, it's really easy. And I went, oh, okay. I didn't know how to manage and register events on the Gateway, my Gateway district-wide staff development calendar, can't even say it, let alone use it. I know how to do that now. I didn't know how to use Canvas, thanks to Matt Van Gelder, wherever he is. I know how to use Canvas now. So I didn't know how to do those things last year, but I know how to do them now. So essentially I feel happy about that. I've grown. I'm a different person, right? I've grown in other non-technology ways, but you get the point. So I've changed. I've grown this past year, And I mentioned this because of our theme, right? This year, we're planting seeds for the future. We're getting ready for change, right? Which is what we're all doing all the time. And as I considered this theme, I thought about the growth mindset movement that many of us know about. It has taken off in education. It has its roots in psychology. And here's how Carol Dweck, the pioneer of this movement, defines it. She says, in a growth mindset, people believe that their most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Brains and talent are just the starting point. And this view creates a love of learning and a resilience that is essential for great accomplishment. So that's how she defines a growth mindset. And we're all in flux. We're all changing. I remember when my kids were little and I'd be exhausted at the end of the night, collapsing on the couch, and I would remember through the frustrations and the challenges that they're never ever going to be as young as they were on that day. Tomorrow they're older. A week later they're older. They're never going to be that young, right? And I think about that now too sometimes, although they're adults, and I collapse on the couch at the end of the day for different reasons. But I still remember that. And today might be gone, right? And tomorrow will be too, before we can take a breath. But if we're going to do life right, we're never the same person that we were yesterday, right? So we're always growing, we're always changing. And that's a growth mindset, right? Just embracing that idea. So a growth mindset has been successfully applied throughout educational institutions around the world to help students see missteps and failures as opportunities, to help them develop the grit and determination needed to stick with something and to overcome that fear and self-doubt, to feel that they can learn and that they will learn and that they're meant to learn, right? So we have this in our district, many growth mindset experts. We have Dr. Miguel Powers. We have in our own NOCE team, Jennifer Carey, Professor Jennifer Carey, who is a growth mindset guru and an amazing resource. And I think a growth mindset is equally applicable to an entire institution, not just individual learners. And I think in NOCE, we are inherently growth mindset oriented. The nature of the work we do and the populations we serve, and we completely believe in those populations. Those things just drip with growth mindset, right? But as we face some big challenges, perhaps remembering this growth mindset philosophy will help us frame those upsets to our normal way of life. Oftentimes when things are changing, we hear people proclaim, but we did it before that way and it didn't work, or why would we do it this way? Why would we do it in this new way when we have a way that works, right? So that would be a fixed mindset, and that's the opposite of a growth mindset. That's a way of eliminating possibility before even giving it a chance. So a fixed mindset learner might say something like, I'm not an artistic type. I've heard myself say these things, but it's not true. Well, it can be true, right? It can be true if you make that imagined lack a reality for yourself by saying it, right? That's the danger of a fixed mindset because it makes you fail before you even start. It's failure before there's even a possibility. So institutionally, a fixed mindset is one that sees change as a waste of time or just a surefire failure, so why bother, right? And I don't think this mindset is part of our culture at all. But I think certainly there's feelings that stem from fear and uncertainty. They're natural. They're a natural byproduct of change. So the one thing that we can do to easily reframe and reset that mindset is to consider that growth mindset always. So what does it look like institutionally? It is our commitment to hard work, our belief that failures or missteps are not setbacks, but they're opportunities for us to learn and grow. It's allowing our team to try something new, to innovate, knowing that our challenges will inform us and strengthen us and make us more flexible and open. And so it's a belief that if we at least give things a try, if we at least give new things a try, we won't be the same institution that we are, right? Next year we'll be a different institution. And I won't be the same person this time next year, and you won't either. None of us will be the same person, right? And so from that professional development perspective, we want to help you develop into the professionals you seek to become. If you didn't fill out a needs assessment this morning, please do so as soon as possible. And that's a quick plug, not a shameless one. It's a very, what's the opposite of shameless? Prideful plug. Our professional development committee will be using that data to put opportunities for your growth in the future in place. So thank you. Here's to a healthy and growthful year. That's not a word.
The speech was actually actually a perfect segue to our keynote speaker who's coming up. We'll be talking about mindfulness, growth mindset, and also emotional intelligence. So that's also another shameless plug. So stay tuned. I don't know about other fellow managers, but I know that Provost office survives on coffee. That's how we work. Last year was marked by many outstanding achievements of our institution as always. For today's presentation, our traditional State of NOCE presentation, I chose the highlights that not only show tremendous achievements of North Orange continuing education, but also mindful, well-planned work that has been done and continues to be done to prepare our institution for a successful future. A total, just think about it, a total of 961 students achieved their goals last year at NOCE by completing diplomas and certificates offered at our institution. This is definitely something to celebrate. We were very close to reaching our last year's FTS annual target of 5,000 FTS, but what was especially significant is that we have done it in a much more efficient manner, thus setting the stage for well-planned growth in the future. Speaking of the future, last year too, we completed our new 3-year strategic plan, institutional strategic plan. Using an integrated planning model, our new strategic plan used California Community College State Chancellor's goals as the framework, Vision for Success goals as the framework, and we also incorporated our existing guided pathways and student equity plan so that we don't duplicate efforts, we celebrate what we do well, and we integrate even more. Specifically, these 4 strategic areas are part of our new strategic plan: institutional effectiveness, guided pathways, capacity, and equity. Each of these strategic areas has a strategic goal, several measurable objectives, and specific action plans to reach the goal. In fact, you can find our new strategic plan on our website. I'll send out the link shortly. So we have done a lot of work in streamlining the ways we onboard our students and the ways we provide instruction. Thinking outside the box, thinking creatively, doing things differently. In fact, NOCE is the first institution that will pilot 100% non-credit online enrollment system, CCC Apply, and it's going to happen this fall, and then we will use it for every program. So I really want to thank our team who partnered and worked very closely with the State Chancellor's Office on developing the application specifically designed for non-credit students. We also launched direct instruction, GED, and high school equivalency preparation program here at the Anaheim campus in partnership with CAPE. And we opened integrated education and training program at one of our off-site locations, Walter Knott in Glen Park. This program combines career training with language acquisition, thus accelerating student progress. Along with our sister colleges, we welcomed our first Anaheim Pledge cohort consisting of 71 students. We also our parenting program team partnered with North Orange Consortium for Adult Education in offering the first community conference on trauma-informed parenting, something new that we are doing for our community. We welcomed more than 300 community members. It was a wonderful conference showcasing world-renowned speakers and authors. And by the way, another conference is being planned for November, so please be on the lookout for the invite for you, your friends, and certainly your students. This is a screenshot of the Future Build website. It's a regional website showcasing career technical education programs offered by 9+1 Orange County community colleges. Well, the +1 college is North Orange Continuing Education. So it's very encouraging to see the recognition of the quality of our programs on the regional level. And it also serves as a great outreach tool for us, generating tens of thousands of views regularly. Of course, NOCE made its mark on the state and national level last year. Specifically, we celebrated the highest success rate in the state for our DSS Workability 3 program that has to do with job placement and job training for students with disabilities. Congratulations to Yogi for coordinating this program. We also celebrated the highest passing mark in Wiowa Title II Federal Grant Review that our ESL program received. It was a very thorough review, like Armenia accreditation. Congratulations to the program. Our DSS Arise Lab received Association of Continuing and Community Education Excellence in Continuing Education Award. Congratulations to you too. And guess what? Our new NOCE logo was awarded a bronze medallion at the National Conference of Marketing and Public Relations. And this is what a year at a glance at NOCE looks like. and as always, very ambitious. Specifically, we will be working on redesigning curriculum and increasing the number of CDCP certificates. I want to thank all of our faculty who worked very hard through the summer. I know we have quite a few faculty members working on developing new CDCP certificates, new curriculum, and just in general redesigning curriculum in preparation for the transition to the new academic calendar, and also using this opportunity to update our courses and programs. Of course, transitioning to semester calendar, this will be our transitional year. We will be piloting our first distance education courses, so developing distance education program. We will actually complete the development of the new NOCE website, implement now our newly developed strategic plan, and develop metrics to measure its effectiveness. We will be administering the second set of campus climate surveys for both employees and students. In your handouts or in your folders, please look for more information and encourage your students to take the survey. We will begin accreditation visit prep, so you will be hearing a lot from our two accreditation co-chairs, Tina and Julie. And we will also foster institutional culture day in and day out, but also specifically I will be working with a representative work group from the Academic Senate, Provost Cabinet, classified employees, and managers on defining and promoting NOCE institutional culture and cultural norms. We will continue to align our staffing structure with our strategic priorities and plans, and we also will roll out one-time fund requests. You know, we have the luxury this year, we haven't had that, I think, in a while, or maybe even ever, where we set aside some funds to roll them out as essentially our local NOCE grant. So our budget committee will be managing the request. There will be $150,000 available for departments and individuals to propose as to how to spend these funds to enhance our institution and to align the proposals with our new strategic plan. So more to come. So earlier this year, I shared the results of the Food and Housing Insecurity Survey for NOCE students. And the numbers were staggering. So along with our sister institutions, sister colleges, NOCE entered into a partnership with the Pathways of Hope organization to build 3 food pantries, one at each campus, Fullerton, Cypress, and Anaheim campus. So ours will be the newest food pantry. We are equipping the room as we speak. It's going to be ready to start mid-September. And our Anaheim campus food pantry is being designed not just to address immediate food insecurities that our students for sure have, but also to serve as a hub of services and various referrals. With that said, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you the team from Pathways of Hope who joined us today. Starting with David Galanders, the Executive Director of Pathways of Hope. Director of Florence. Pathways of Hope, Maria Esquivel, coordinator of services for our district. So Maria will be coordinating all 3 food pantries, one at each campus. And do we have Angel with us today? Wonderful.
Angel, yeah.
Angel, nice to meet you. Angel is going to become part of our NOCE Anaheim campus team because Angel is assigned as the food and service coordinator specifically for the Anaheim food pantry. Welcome.
Thanks everyone for having me. Thank you to the provost. Thank you to the district. It's been such a great working relationship building up our ability to provide these 3 navigation centers with food and housing resources at each of the campuses. I don't think food insecurity amongst college students is something that we are excited about. However, what I think we are excited about is the proactive way we are taking on this issue in partnership with the district. One of the things I really loved was when the president of the Academic Senate talked about the culture here, catering to students first and foremost, and being about that mission and high quality of service. That's really what Pathways of Hope is all about. We've been doing that in North Orange County for 44 years. So it's really exciting for us to be a part of this. We hope that this is just the start of a relationship where we can dig deeper into student issues with respect to housing insecurity and the other basic needs and things like that. And it's just been a really wonderful experience working with the provost, working with Chancellor Marshall, Dr. Schultz, the whole district, Dr. Schilling over at Cypress. So we're really excited to be here. We just want to be one of y'all. We just want to be part of the team here. Loving the energy and the vibe of the NOCE. It feels, if I can say this, it feels scrappy enough to get it, enough to improve the lives. Yeah. I'm just an old North Orange County punk rock kid, so scrappy is kind of my thing, right? So on top of that, on another personal note, I was born here, so this is really personally meaningful to me. And when I say born here, I mean literally upstairs. Yes. Yeah, my team is actually tired of me talking about it. My brother and I were both born in this hospital, so anyways, so excited to be here. This is really the team that's going to be doing all the work. You will see a lot of Angel, a lot of Mary, some of Mishka, and hopefully some of me too. And we're just excited to be here and be part of y'all. So thank you so much for everything.
So David, in other words, you definitely belong here. One more. I want to conclude my message today with a quote from Audrey Hepburn, who said, "To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow." And our Wilshire warriors, our Wilshire team from the Wilshire Center, really took this idea to heart because they initiated Wilshire Center Beautification Project. And they have been literally cultivating the soil around the instructional buildings, planting beautiful flowers, and beautifying the environment. So much so that this wonderful initiative beautified not only the surrounding grounds of our Wilshire Center, but definitely the Wilshire team from within. And I want to thank Kathy Johnson. I'm not sure if she's wonderful. Thank you so much, Kathy, for initiating the project and for countless hours that you spend hauling soil and planting and gardening. I know it's a labor of love. Your spirit is contagious because community members started donating their plants to the Wilshire Beautification Project. So thank you. Before you leave today, you can see we have packs with seeds on the walls. So please take one, and I hope you find time and space, maybe even around your campus, to plant the flowers and plants to make our world a little bit more beautiful and to cultivate change. Go NOCE. It is my pleasure now to recognize employees who are celebrating their service milestones at NOCE and within North Orange County Community College District. So we will begin with those who are celebrating their 5th year anniversary with us. As I call your name, please come up to receive your service pin. Thank you, Dr. Marshall, for joining me. So 5 years of service, beginning with Yolanda Barba, Administrative Assistant 2, Grade Education Program. Morgan Beck, Manager of Instructional Technology. Janet Cagley, Professor of High School Diploma Program. Terry Cox, Director of Administrative Services. Cristina de la Cerda, Counselor of Discipline. Assistant, English as a Second Language Program, Cyprus Region. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
We will move on to those who served 15 years here. Renee Miles, Accountant Clerk 2, Cyprus Center. Monica Torres, Administrative Assistant 1.
Congratulations, Renee and Monica. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
And now it is with great excitement that I would like to introduce new employees who joined our NOCE team within the last year or who have gotten promoted. So please join me as I call your name to receive your NOCE pin. David Afshar, Special Project Manager, Basic Skills Integration and CFP. Miranda Bates, Campus Marketing Officer. Michelle Bringman, Special Project Manager. Lori Eberhardt, Special Projects Director, Regional Structural Workforce Program. Carla Friesler, Director of the ESL Program. Edwin Garcia, Facilities Custodian 2, Wilshire Center. Erica Larson, Student Support Specialist, Disability Support Center. Next up, Jason Makabali, Senior Research Analyst. Jason Mata, Campus Marketing and Outreach Assistant. Christine Ortiz, Registrar. Naomi Otieno, Administrative Assistant 3, Dean Office, Worship Center. Michelle Patrick Norn, Counselor, Disability Support Services Program. Deb Perkins, Interim Director of Counseling and Student Services. Catherine Pham, Administrative Assistant 3, Dean's Office. Roxana Soto, Special Projects Manager, Workforce Development. Jessica Toscano, Director of Campus Safety, Anaheim Campus. Martha Charter, Manager of the ESL program. Deborah West, Interim Administrative Assistant 1, Lead Program. And Dr. Ty by Ty Wolsey, Interim Manager and
Over a little farther. Roxana, come forward a little. All right. I can't see Naomi. No hiding on. And Jason.
There's room here.
Okay. There we go. And yeah, there we go. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Great, thank you.
thank you and welcome to a NOCE family. Over the past year, the NOCE Academic Senate had an extensive discussion and sponsored a research project to determine the merits of transitioning from a trimester-based calendar to a semester-based calendar. After gathering feedback from students and vetting the responses and experiences from faculty members, the Academic Senate voted in favor of a semester-based calendar. Our next presentation will showcase the work that has been done so far to lay the foundation for this year as we transition from trimesters to semesters in order to maximize student experience at NOCE. You will find an index card in your folders, in your event packet. We will not be able, due to time constraints, to field questions. No doubt, we all have many questions related to this topic, so please jot down the questions that you have. We will collect them, and then we will publish a Q&A shortly, so that everybody can see the answers and have the same information. So please welcome our next two presenters, an NOCE Professor and Academic Senate President Tina McCorkin, and Dean of Instruction and Student Services, Martha Gutierrez.
Well, Valentina already did our first slide. But just to kind of recap real quick, administration came to the faculty and wanted our input on how, or did we want to transition to semesters? And so Academic Senate took on the discussion, and we discussed and discussed. And one of the first things that came up was we really wanted to have the faculty voice heard. And so we got with the research department and developed a survey and sent that out. And they did focus groups, and they were really awesome and gathered all of this data for us so that we could get an idea of what how our students felt about transitioning from trimesters to semesters. Once we received that data back, more discussion, what it meant, and we took a vote, and we decided that we thought this would be best for our students and for us as an institution. So what the calendar looks like, our proposed dates are, we would be starting in August. So we would actually be starting 2 weeks before our sister colleges, which allows us to line up kind of nicely because we are doing an 18-week calendar where our sister colleges are doing 16 weeks. So we could start 2 weeks before they do. We'll have our non-student duty day and our mandatory flex day, and then begin our term on that Monday. Our fall term would end on December 18th, so it extends us a little bit further into December than what we're used to, but we still get our 3.5 weeks for the Christmas holiday. Spring term would begin mid-January. I don't remember they're doing the winter term a lot. It was funny, we laughed, it's like they get a winter term as we're getting rid of them or so. But anyway, that's another discussion. So, we would start on January 19th, which is a Tuesday, because the 18th is a holiday. So we would be starting on that Tuesday. And our spring term would end on May 28th. So we're ending a lot earlier than we're used to as well, because we tend to go to the end of June. So that will be kind of nice as well. Then our summer term would start June 7th and would end July 16th. So we would have an 18-week fall and spring semester and a 6-week summer term. So our summer session would basically stay the same. So the nice thing about this is it allows us to align nicely with the sister colleges, so students can go both directions with the changes that have been happening, as well as aligning with K through 12. So that makes it nice for their kids, our students, because of their children going back to school and holidays and so forth.
Thank you, Tina. A lot goes into developing the academic calendar, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about how it came to be in accordance with Title V regulations. And so first, to begin with, we do have a traditional calendar, which has to have a minimum of 35 weeks in the academic year. So you heard Tina mention that the colleges are on a 16-week semester calendar, and that's because they're on a compressed calendar, which is different from a traditional calendar of 35 weeks. They would need to have a minimum of 32 weeks in the academic calendar. And what makes up a week that counts towards the 35 weeks is that you have to have at least 3 days in the week for it to count towards that week. So we typically will have a full week of Monday through Friday for the academic calendar for the weeks, but you could end a week on a Wednesday, but not on a Tuesday. So as we look at when does our term start, when does it end, we have to keep into consideration the Title V regulations as well. And so our academic and college year are defined in Title V. And so our fiscal year is July 1st and through June 30th, as we all are familiar with. And our academic year has to have a minimum of 175 instructional days. So many of you may be aware of the 175 rule. And so that pertains to this Title V regulation, which excludes the summer and the intersections. So when we put together the calendars, Tina and I meticulously counted every single day, make sure it's added backwards and forwards, and we sure calculated it correctly. But there really isn't a way to not have at least 175 days if we just make sure that we have the 177 duty days that our instructional faculty need to have built into the calendar. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. And then also our Saturdays and Sundays also count. We don't have any Sunday classes, but we still do have some Saturday classes with the Emeritus program at all site locations. And so those count as well. Okay, so then what counts as a day? So there has to be a minimum of 3 hours for a day to count. So if we have, let's say, ESL classes scheduled on Fridays, and those are the only classes that are scheduled, if they're scheduled for at least 3 hours that day, that counts as a day. So it doesn't have to be every single program having classes on that particular day, just NOCE has to have instruction on that particular day for it to count. And then it has to be between the hours of 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. And then as far as the 175, we also have a flexible calendar where today, Flex Day, counts as one of those 175 days because there's a provision in Title V that says that a day that constitutes staff, student, and instructional improvement activities can be counted in lieu of the instructional day. And so we have 2 non-student mandatory days where we have flex activities built into our academic calendar. There's now 2 in September and 2 in January. So we have a total of 4 non-student duty days and flex day activities scheduled on those days. And those are all approved by our state chancellor's office. So just a little bit more about the flexible calendar. There it just gives you the exact language from Title V. And also wanted to mention also the negotiated contract, which is our United Faculty contract for our full-time faculty. So in addition to our Title V regulations, we've also built into our negotiated calendar the duty days or the number of days that full-time faculty work as part of their contract. And so in fall of 2017, 2 additional mandatory duty days, non-student duty days or flex days, were added to the calendar across the district. So credit and non-credit faculty have 177 duty days that are scheduled within that academic calendar. And for counselors, because they are scheduled throughout the year, it's 195 days. And so a little bit about the benefits.
So the benefits of having the semester process is that, again, it aligns us nicely with our sister colleges. So it allows our students to have that free flow going in both directions. It aligns with K-12, so our holidays are aligning nicely, and we're starting actually probably before most of, or right after a lot of the schools are starting, or right the same week. So it should align nicely with the K-12. Can't see that far. I'm trying to read way over there. Sorry. All right. Flexibility in scheduling that allows for classes. This is where it gets really exciting for us because each of our programs are so different. So when we have that 18-week calendar, it allows us to say, you know what, we can do this class in 6 weeks, and we can do this class in 12 weeks, and we can do this class for the whole 18 weeks. So it allows us to really design our classes to meet the needs of our students. And that is where it gets really exciting because now it's not, how do I stretch this out for 18 weeks? We don't have to worry about that. We can chop them up and make them perfect for exactly what our students need. So that's the exciting part about having the 18-week calendar. Facilities coordination, we talk about the sister colleges close and they turn off the air and we die for like 3 weeks or so. So this will work out nicely because it's coordinated. When they're off, we're off basically. I guess the only thing we have to do is make sure they turn it on early. So yes, but that should line up a lot better than it has in the past. As well as IT maintenance, that's always an issue because we kind of are here sometimes like during the summer.
And so before we begin our awaited and anticipated award ceremony, I would like to invite to the podium our community partner who donated generously to our student scholarships for many years, Schools First Credit Union Media. Please welcome her.
Wow, thank you guys so much. I'm sorry, how do I go and present after? I'm inspired. I'm like, oh God, I need to write it all down. So thank you for all that you guys do. Thank you for having me out here. It's a true pleasure to be out here. I've seen this building for many years. I lived on the street, so it's really nice to actually be inside the building and seeing you guys. So again, I'm Nydia. I'm from Schools First. Just by a quick show of hands, do I have any happy Schools First members? Woo! Awesome! Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your membership. Thank you. So I'm just here to tell you a little bit some updates of stuff going on, some products or services that maybe you're not taking advantage of, that maybe you're like, hey, let me see what you guys are doing.
Just a reminder, we're doing our summer savers. If you're not taking advantage of it, please take advantage of it. It's a great way for you to save for the summertime if you don't get a paycheck. We're paying an interest rate of 3.75%, so compare that to most other savings accounts are not close enough. So, and it's liquid too, so you can always pull it out. We don't penalize you if you have to withdraw the money. So if you want to go to Disneyland, spend all your money at Star Wars Land, go for it. We don't mind, we don't judge. I'll probably be there spending all my money. Other really popular products that we have is our auto loan program. So if you're out there looking to maybe purchase or refinance your vehicle, we can help. We have a great auto loan program where we allow you to either refinance you, usually starting about 3% for new, 3.17 for used. But what's really awesome is that we allow you to skip your payments during summertime. So hey, even if you're getting paid during the summer, if you are, you can skip your payments. That's about, what, maybe $800 to $1,000 that you're saving during summertime that you can go ahead and use that for another bill, or if you actually do want to go on vacation, you can use it to go on vacation. Also, another really popular product that we're having now is our mortgage program. So if you're out there looking to purchase a home, we have a program where we allow school employees to purchase a home, which is a 5% down, and we waive with PMI. You know that private mortgage insurance that banks charge? Because who here in Southern California has $100,000 to purchase a home? Most of us don't. Some of you do. I see some look so like, I have that money. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have the credit union. It's hard. So, if there's anything out there that you're interested in or have questions about, I'm going to be at the very end. So if you guys would like to, come by and chat with me. If you're not a member yet, I highly recommend joining. Membership with us is completely free. So if you're happy with your bank, you're like, I don't want to break up with you because they're the best thing that's ever happened to me, that's perfectly fine. You can have us as a secondary bank account, and we're more than happy to serve you in any capacity. So if that means you just want to use our coin machine, because we have coin machines at all of our branches and it's free, go ahead and take advantage of that. We're just happy to serve you in that capacity if that's what you want us for. So thank you guys for everything. I did have some gift cards to raffle off too, so it's not just me talking. So I have to, whoever wins these, you just have to promise me that they're $10 Target gift cards. You're going to use them on yourself. You're not going to use them on your kids, not on groceries, or cleaning supplies, to clean the bathroom. No. Buy something, I don't know, a candle or a little spa thing. So I've got 6 off. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, they're all the way on my table. I am so sorry. So we're gonna have more. We're gonna give you guys more tickets. Oh, do you have extra?
We have 2 extra.
Oh.
Your $10 gift card.
Sorry about that. I totally miscounted how many we had. So while we are doing that, we will raffle the tickets in just a few minutes. I just wanted to pay your attention to your folders. There's a lot of very important information in your folders, including multi-year proposed academic calendars, so you can start looking at the dates and planning your classes and your life accordingly. Of course, the calendars still need to go through the negotiations and the approval, but these are very strong proposals that we already have. Of course, student and employee campus climate survey. And have you heard about Data with Donuts? If you haven't, look at the flyer. Our Office of Institutional Research and Planning is planning on, is it monthly dosing? Quarterly gatherings. Data with Donuts, so you can get a donut, get a cup of coffee, and learn more about data that we have available at your fingertips thanks to our OIRP team. All right, are we ready? Okay. So the first number is 643460. All right, Jennifer. Okay, the next one is 643499. 643499.
2. 643. Yeah, and congratulations. Okay. The next winner is 643489. I know. I'll make it a little better. Okay. 643-4825. 643-4825. Hilda. No. Someone else? Oh, she said, who is it? Who? We have to take it, that's what's important. Okay, thank you. One more? Okay, last one. Okay. 643-454. Hey. Thank you so much, Didi, and again, thank you for your generosity and supporting our students. And now I would like to invite back to the podium Trustee Brown, who will help us with presenting the awards for this year. Our faculty are a treasure at North Orange Continuing Education, and we are proud to celebrate 3 faculty members who achieved their tenured status last year. Please come forward as I call your name. We will begin with Dr. Carlos Diaz.
Just stay up here so we can get up.
All right, next up, Rosie Navarro, counselor of and Professor Jennifer Wu, Career Technical Education Program.
Thank you, congratulations again.
We are pleased to have the opportunity every year to enter an NOCE faculty nominee for the Orange County Department of Education Teacher of the Year Awards. Last year, we received a total of 241 nominations from students, with 42 of these nominations being submitted for our NOCE nominee, Mr. Rifat M.D. Ahmed, who teaches computer applications in our Korean Technical Education Program. I just wanted to read really quickly a testimony from one of his many students. It says, he makes every effort to make students understand, especially seniors, the concepts of computers and how they work. Explanations are understandable and easily grasped. Definitely, a teacher every student wants in his or her corner teaching difficult concepts. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The North Star Awards was established by our district's chancellor staff to recognize employees for their outstanding contributions and work performance. Some of the criteria used for the selection include excellence in work performance, promoting positive morale, improving self and developing others, demonstrating initiative and creativity. Our 1819 Award North Star Award recipients certainly demonstrate all these qualities. With that said, it is my pleasure to invite Jennifer Perez, NOCE Campus Communications Director. Just a few words from her nomination. After initial exploration of the SCE new website design, it became clear that our institution would benefit from a new brand platform, including a new name, visual sign, and community messaging. So in her approach to the rollout of the massive rebrand initiative, Jennifer demonstrated determination and professionalism, which contributed greatly to all team and buy-in. CE. So, as it is tradition, our tradition, I will read the nomination without revealing the award recipient, and then we will invite each person to the podium. So the first nominee. This employee has many responsibilities, including admissions, registration, customer service, and many administrative tasks. Even with interruptions, this employee consistently completes a large volume of work. Interacting frequently with faculty, students, and staff, this employee is in tune with the needs of her department. It's difficult. When new policies and procedures, that's 50%, right? When new policies and procedures are developed, this employee knows the pitfalls for students and staff members and provides invaluable input into the design and implementation of the process improvement. This employee is dependable, committed, and comes to work every single day with a very positive disposition. Recently, this employee's department executed a large project, ordering $100,000 worth of equipment and supplies. So this person developed a tracking system, tracked every single receipt, and did an excellent job in accounting for all of the funding. One day, this person spent 45 minutes with a student to help them with My Gateway. This everyday acts of service require patience and genuine commitment to student success. Digital proficiency is an obstacle for many of our NOCE students, and so without proper support, these students get lost. People like this employee are essential to ensuring that NOCE students stay on their pathway. Congratulations to the 2018-19 NOCE Outstanding Colleague of the Year, Administrative Assistant 1 of the Career Technical Education Program, Amabel Arizondo.
Excuse me.
And it took a whole team convincing her that today's event is mandatory. In one CTE. Okay. Ready for our next nominee? This employee is incredibly thoughtful, knowledgeable, and articulate about the field of Title V regulations and community resources. And this employee serves as a resource for this employee's department in the area of Title V regulations. Okay, this person has a student's first mentality and a unique way of helping students to understand their strengths and weaknesses while always guiding them with care and honesty. So this person's calendar, needless to say, is packed with back-to-back appointments because students are seeking the help from this person. In addition to the daily job, this employee is actively involved in NOCE, participating in outreach, academic senate meetings, committees, and events. This employee always thinks creatively and with a positive attitude, And recently, this employee suggested developing a kindness committee within this employee's department. Definitely this person is an asset to our whole institution, serving as the resident guru related to alternate media, assistive technology, and resources for students who need accommodations. She always has a smile, knows how to make you laugh, and ensures that you feel heard and understood. She has tremendous respect for all and enjoys empowering students of all ability levels. Please congratulate our 2018-19 NOCE Colleague of the Year, Disability Support Services Counselor, Christina de la Serra. Our award recipients have many, many nominations each. Christina, do you mind staying here? All right. Next nominee. This employee consistently demonstrates tireless commitment to NOCE students and the success of this person's department. At any given time, you'll find this person juggling multiple responsibilities and projects with dedication and results. This person works with utmost professionalism, competence, and positive attitude, and is always willing to take time out of a very busy schedule that they have to assist any student or staff member. This employee routinely exceeds expectations, often staying late to ensure that projects are completed in a timely fashion, that workshops and events are well attended and running smoothly, and that the department that they serve is well promoted and visible to the students. This employee took the initiative to pilot resume writing workshops tailored specifically for our ESL students. These workshops provided crucial information on the differences between resumes in the United States versus other parts of the world. As a result, students developed a better understanding of American employer expectations. This person is always cheerful and friendly and considered a trusted mentor by students. Please help me in congratulating NOCE Colleague of the Year, Career Technical Education Program, Special Projects Manager, Denise Mora. But not least, this employee is known for their positive demeanor and going above and beyond to help students, faculty, and staff. Proven to be a knowledgeable resource for that employee's department, this person knows the diverse needs of students and how to match them with NOCE programs and services. This person is the friendliest person on campus, making students feel comfortable and welcome, trusted by those that the person works with, serving as an excellent model of what an NOCE employee should strive to be. In this person's role, the person goes beyond the job duties by making sure students aren't just aware of the programs that we offer, but rather guides them, helping them understand their pathway opportunities within NOCE and beyond. This employee is one of the first employees to volunteer for outreach, serve at department and campus events, and participate in committees. Valuing professional growth, and participating last year in NOCE Leadership Academy. This employee served as a key resource over the past year in the regional strong workforce marketing program by providing input, piloting and facilitating NOCE campus tours and supporting the execution of the campaign, including targeted emails, ads, and a new website, and more. This employee strives for excellent service, is very kind to others, and a valuable team member to both her department and NOCE in general. Please help me in congratulating NOCE Colleague of the Year, Career Technical Education Program, Student Service Specialist, Stacy Webb. So as it has become our tradition for a few years now, we have asked our team members to share fun summertime photos of themselves or their families, so we get to know what you've done during the summer, share your fun memories while you are demonstrating your affinity to NOCE by holding I Love NOCE sign. This year's competition was really fierce. Every year it's become tougher and tougher to choose one winner. So this year we actually have 3 categories. So I will invite 3 finalists to the podium. Are you ready? Okay. Congratulations to the most creative award winner, Ivan Stanovic.
Is that it? That's perfect.
So Ivan was just saying that he's sharing his award and honor with his partner in the picture, Ellie. All right. Ready for the next one? Our next category is the first place in the competition is given to Casey Sosa.
No children were in danger. She did it voluntarily. Congratulations. Thank you. There's a lot of people that, oh no?
And lastly, congratulations to the finalists that rose to the top, literally. To our special, He Takes the Cake award winner, Curtis Valdez. team member, so you may have not known that the special guest that came to greet Amabel here at the podium is Dr. Jorge Gamboa. Who's been an OCE team member for many, many years until Fulton College stole him. So he is the dean now of the Social Studies Division. Thank you for being here. Well, this concludes our event. I would like to, in closing, thank you all for coming and of course wish you a fantastic year. Thank you.